Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you joined me today. Today we're going to be making altered paper clips for our hashtag #TagMeTuesday project. But first, let's have our shout out to Darlene, Noreen, Candace, Carol, and Daggy. I appreciate each and every one of you. Oh my goodness, aren't they sweet? I'm not sure that we've made altered paper clips for a Tag Me Tuesday project, but these are covered with fabric. So I had some fabric strips that we had left over in another project we did together, and I thought this would be really sweet to do together. I love how they've turned out. And you can always use altered paper clips in a junk journal or even just to use for everyday, maybe school things or office work. You could use them that way too, or even some Happy Mail. So how did I make these? Let's get started. So I'm going to just put these over here, and I'm going to bring in some pieces of file folder. And I've got 3 here. I thought we could make 3 together. These are approximately 1¼ inch by 4 inches right here. And then I've cut my strips of fabric to match. And actually, they're just a little bit wider. These are let me show you, just a little bit wider than the fabric itself. So they're not exactly the same size because I was dealing with the strips that I already had. So like this one has a little bit more on the sides than this one. Okay, but you get the idea of what you need to do. So you need to prep that. The next thing that I did was I took my little pieces and I folded them in half like this. And I used my bone folder, where is my bone folder? Right here. And I just took my bone folder and creased my fold really well. So lining it up and just creasing it just like this. And once again, and then giving it a nice crease. I'm going to take my piece, I'm going to place my fabric upside down, so wrong side up, and I'm going to take where it's folded like this, I'm going to place it right onto my fabric like this. So my fold is going this way, so I will be able to see the right side of the fabric. I'm going to do all 3 of these. I am going to be using my hot glue gun. It's quick, it's easy, and it's great for videos. And I'm going to do this while I tell you what is hashtag #TagMeTuesday. It's a Facebook group that I have. I invite you all to join. And to join, what you'll need to do is accept the rules. Now, I've had quite a few people lately ask to join, but they're not accepting the rules. And if you don't accept the rules, I can't accept you into the group. So what are the rules? The rules are to be kind to everyone and that there is no selling. That does not mean that you can't sell your things. It just means you can't sell your things on that site. That's all that means. And you accept those rules to be kind to everyone and there's no selling, and I'll accept you into the group. Now there is one other question there. It's a secret word. You don't have to have that, but it is hashtag Cathy Sewing Happiness in case you would like to fill it out. So it's very easy to join. You have to accept the rules. So if you have tried to join and you were denied, because that's the word they use, then try to join again, or actually join again and just accept the rules, and I'll put you right through. Okay, you guys? And over there, what we do is we make the same project, and there's lots of projects that are hashtag Tag Me Tuesday. You can check the playlist if you like. You can choose one of those projects from the playlist, or you could choose the one that we're working on this week. I do request that you don't just put on there what you're working on this week, because we like to see what everybody's project turns out looking like. Mine look like this. Yours are going to look totally different, even though we're making the exact same project. I love seeing our personalities coming out through our crafting. So that's what hashtag Cathy Sewing Happiness is all about. The link is down below in the description. We now have our fabric glued onto our piece of file folder. And we've already folded it, so now it's easily folded, just like this. And what we're going to want to do is where it's open, the open end right here, we're going to take, I'm going to use a large paper clip. You can't see it, a large paper clip. And I'm going to place the smaller piece inside or along the file folder. So it's going to be inside the fold is what I'm trying to say. I also noticed that I've got an awful lot of fabric up above this file folder end, so I'm going to trim it right here, and I'm going to fray it just a little bit. After I've trimmed it, I'm just going to pull some of these fibers and fray it just a little bit. It just looks a little softer that way, because what I want is I want to have my top of my little paper clip right here just above the top just a little bit, because that's where we're going to put our, whether you're going to use ribbon or whether you're going to use sari silk, whatever it is that you're going to use right here, you're going to need a little space to pop it into. So now, after we've adjusted everything, you're going to take your glue. Whatever glue you're using will be fine. I don't suggest a glue stick. It's going to need to be a wetter glue, a stronger glue than a glue stick. You can try a glue stick if you want. I'm just not real big fan of thinking it's gonna stay glued for as much stress as you're gonna put on this paper clip. All right, so now we've got that all glued in, our paper clips glued inside. We just have our long piece that's on the outside, in which you are going to be using to clip on to your page. Okay, so now I need to do my other three. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I want to straighten that up just a little bit and take a little bit of that fabric off. I want it a little closer to the end of my paper there, my file folder. So trimming it and then just removing a few of the fibers just to, make it a little more frayed, a little more worn looking, shall we say, like it's been around a while. Okay, I don't know why we like that look so much, but we sure do. Now I'm going to place my paper clip. You all know that one side of the paper clip is bigger than the other. You're going to put the small one inside like this, leaving a little bit of paper clip up above the top like this. Now you're ready. Your bigger one's on the back side, or the outside, shall we say. Now we're ready to glue it. So gluing our paper clip inside between the two pieces of file folder. Okay, so pretty. Okay, just like that. Once again, I think that needs to be trimmed a little bit. That's a little bit too much for me. This one, that's not straight, and there we go. Straighten it up just a little bit and fray just a little bit here. So pulling some of the strings. There we go. All right, I'm pulling right here, pulling some strings, fraying it just a little bit. Now, getting my paper clip, and we're going to put the smaller side of the paper clip inside, the larger ones on the outside, and we're going to be gluing it shut. Okay, so gluing it shut. Now we are ready to decorate. Now you can decorate this with all kinds of things. You could use butterflies. I'm using stamps. These are from my porch prints, and I just think the color, excuse me, the colors are just beautiful with these pieces of fabric that I have. So I'm looking, let me put this up above here, move this, I'm moving everything up for you guys so you can see. I think that color goes nicely with that. And do I have a blue one? There's a blue one here. That's awful pretty. I don't really have a yellow one. I don't think there's any yellow here. There's a green. Let's see what the green looks like. That's okay. It's okay. I wish there was a yellow, though. There's this brown. What does the brown look like? No, the blue is definitely a little perkier. So, this one's really long. No. Okay. Really don't want them all to... Okay, here's a green one. How about if we use a green one for that one? Let's see if there's any different green one in here. I'm not sure. That's kind of blue. Oh, here's a green one. Oh, wait. We just used a green one. Oh, goodness, Cathy. How about a blue one? That's what I need to look for. A blue one. Here's one that's kind of tealy color, purpley color. How does that one look? Not so much. Okay. Well, spending an awful long time digging around here. What about this one? Oh, I'm much happier with that. All right, so we've got our little postage stamps. This is my sponge that has my frayed burlap on it, and I want to just brush the edges. It will help make it stand out, and I just love inking things. I think for me it's gorgeous. Now when I see other creators not ink, it's gorgeous too, but when I do it, it's like, no, I can't. I just can't leave it alone. Now, I have this little book. It says Mocard, M-O-C-A-R-D, Vintage Collector. I did not purchase this. It was a gift from my daughter, and she said she got it off of Temu. I have no link for it. I do not know, but they're little pieces of vellum that are printed on it. And I just thought that this would be a really nice and cute way to use it. So I've got my Fiskars mini pinking shears. Bought these years and years ago. Came in a set. I don't even know if they offer them anymore, you guys, but they are Fiskars, so I'm thinking probably you can buy some. I've got my art glitter glue here, and what I would like to do is I'm going to glue my stamp onto my piece of vellum. Now I'm going to glue it so I've got some space around it. I'm putting it closer to this corner area. Let's see if I can pick that up. Closer to that corner right here. And that's, I'm going to glue it down like that. So adding my glue onto the back, and then placing my stamp. That's what I've chosen. Now, like I said, you can choose whatever. I even think maybe a button would be cute on here. Whatever you want to use, it will be perfect. Okay, so popping this on here, in about the same position as I did the other one. I'm going to go ahead and do this one as well, because we're going to make 3 today. I'm going to, it's a nice mass making little project, but you could make yourself quite a few. You could change up what you're putting on there. Instead of like using a postcard every single time, you could change it up, butterfly, button, whatever it is, a label, whatever it is that you have. It'll be great. You can change it up, and then maybe your altar paper clips will look all different. I'm going to take the mini pinking shears, and I'm just going to trim around this stamp. So it's kind of going to look like I mounted this stamp onto a little piece of vellum, basically. And then we're going to glue it right on to our fabric little piece that we made, and we sealed our paper clip inside. Let's see here. There we are, just like this. And then this one, trimming it here, here. Okay, we've got that all prepped and ready to go. Let's glue this onto, oh, it went like this, Cathy. Okay, I'm using my art glitter glue still, and I'm going to glue this down onto the top of my fabric. Just like this, gluing it right on the top. It's a little crooked. Straighten it out a little bit, pressing it down. Make sure it gets glued on. Looks just like this now. Let's do this one. This is not a hard project, but they turn out so beautiful. By this time, if you've been watching me, you know I don't make anything hard. It's just not if it's not easy for me, and then it just doesn't, it's not fun anymore. If it's really, I have to struggle a lot with it, then it's just not fun. But this is an easy project, and like I said, it just turns out gorgeous, and I really think that it will be gorgeous no matter what you choose to use. Alrighty, pressing my last one down so it grabs a hold and it glues on. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm using sari silk. Now I will link Cindy's Etsy shop down below. Crimson Heart Studios is where I get all of my sari silk from. And let's see, how about the pink for this one, and the green for this one, and do I want the brown or the blue for this last one, or even the white? Ooh, let's do the white. Let's change it up. Now these are all, I did not measure these, I just made a little strip, and I'm going to take my strip. Now if you don't have sari silk, that's okay. You can use a ribbon. That will be perfect. If you don't have ribbon or sari, you can just get yourself some material and make some strips of material. I've put the end right through that top of that paper clip where we left a little bit of a loop. All right, and now I'm just going to tie a bow. And I want my little loops of my bow to be not too awful big, just kind of something like this. Yeah, I think that will look great. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue right here on the side. What I want to do is glue down my little streamers or tails from my bow. I want to hold them down. So I'm doing that. And I'm actually going to glue my little loops of my bow down. I don't know if I can get it on there. I don't want it to be flopping around, okay? I want it to just be glued down just so it's secure. All right, so it looks just like this. I need to trim that little piece of frayed. Sorry, I need to trim that off. Okay, now I'm going to trim this right here, maybe something like that. Okay, just like that. So sweet, right? I'll pop that right over there. The next one is the pink one. So we're going to take our little end and we're going to pop it through. Now if you can't get it through, use a little point of maybe some scissors or something that you have that's small that will help you get your ribbon or your sari or your piece of fabric, whatever you've chosen to make your bow with. And we're going to just put it on there like that, and we're going to make a bow. So tie in our bow just like this. Move that out of the way. If you're having trouble with it all moving around on you, you might want to secure this little piece. I was trying to think of how you could secure it and keep it from moving around, because as you're tying your bow, it does move around on you a little bit. I'm sure you can come up, excuse me, with something that you can secure it with to keep it in place. Okay, I'm just fixing the bow a little bit to straighten it out, cutting off a little bit of these strings from the sari silk, and that's pretty cute. I'm going to place that glue down on the side and just catch that end from the bow and do the other side as well. Okay, so we look like that. I'm going to glue the loop of the bow down. Don't want it flopping around. I want it to just be in place and stay where I've asked it to. Oh my goodness, that's so sweet. I love those colors. Trimming off the edge. Okay. Alrighty. That one's really sweet. I've got one more to go. And take my end, and I'm just going to use my end of my scissors to pop it through. Give it a tie. Just like this. And then tying my bow. Okay. A little big on the loops there. Let's bring them down just a little bit. What a great mask making project. Oh, so cute. Okay, very sweet. Putting a little bit of glue on the side so we can straighten out these ends of our bow so it will be secure. I want to secure this, and I'm going to glue right here. Glue that down, and then glue this side down as well. Wonderful. Now I'm giving it a cut, and another one right here. Oh my goodness, so pretty. All right, the next step is you're going to need a little bit of thread. Now I am using some thread that is like, I think it's called coat thread. It's just a little bit heavier. You can use whatever thread that you like. And I'm simply going to make a loop and a loop and a loop and a loop. I might make 3 on each side. I'm going to trim it. Got a piece of glue on there. I'm going to trim the another piece, and this is the hardest part about the whole thing. You're going to put it around and you're going to tie. I'm going to tie this. Where did it go? I lost the end of it. Here we are. The end is right here. like I said, that's the hardest part of all of it, right there. I'm just seeing if it's even or not. I love to use thread with sari. I don't know what it is about it, but I think it looks fantastic. Now this little bow, I'm going to put a little bit of glue right in the center of my bow. And then I'm going to pop my thread bow right on top. Just like that. That just, I don't know, it just perked it up. It just made it look very, very vintagey. I just love that look. Let's do another one. So we have our thread. Let me get this glue off my fingers a little bit. And we're going to make a loop. Oh, I don't know if you can really see that very well. I've got some, I don't know if that will help. No, not at all. Not at all, Kathy. It doesn't help at all. I'm trying to see what we have that you can see what I'm doing, because you can't really see. Let me see if I can find something really dark. Oh, I hope this is better for you. This is a very dark purple piece of cardstock. Now, we've got our thread, and as I was saying before, you're going to make a loop, and then another loop. So you have two loops. And then you have another loop added to this, and another loop down below. And we're going to do one more, just about this, somewhere close to the same size. Give it a trim. Get just a little bit more of that thread. And you're going to tie it together with a piece of thread. I lost that loop under that thumb. Bringing this down like this. Yeah, sometimes it's easier to do this way. If you grab all the loops together and then pulling this, I have to use my mouth to get that actually tied. Alrighty, so now that one's all tied. Let's go ahead and let's pop it. It's kind of bigger. These are bigger loops. This is a bigger piece. I'm going to put it on this one, simply because this seems to be wider than that one. Even though we kind of started out, obviously we didn't, but I thought we started out with the same size things. But obviously we didn't. They weren't exactly the same size. There we go. We've got that done. Now I'm going to trim this off. Okay, now I've got one more to go. So once again, I'm going to take my thread and pull off some, and we're going to make a loop, another loop, a loop, a loop, a loop, and our last loop is right here. Give it a trim, take a little piece, put it over the middle, like that. Okay, now I'm just going to turn it so I get all of them in my finger. Make a knot. To use my lips to get that pulled through. Alrighty, so now we've got a bow, a string bow. And we're going to pop it right on the top of this. Now, if you're unable to make this bow, and you want to do it for the Tag Me Tuesday project, and you want to show yours, you can always take this and just kind of scrunch it up. And just see if you can't scrunch it up and then roll it in your fingers. And usually you can get it rolled, something like that. And you can glue the rolled pieces on. Just rolled up little pieces. You can do that if you can't end up, can't make a bow, then you can still do this project. Just roll it in your fingers like that, and it kind of starts looking like a bow that we made here together. So that's just you know, if you're saying, Kathy, I just can't do that, then you can just roll it in your fingers and make kind of like a knot and glue it on your bow. And it will look extremely similar to what I've got here. I've got a little bit of bling. If you don't have something like this, you could use stickles. You could use flat back pearls. I'm just using these. It's just something that I have, and I thought that it really made it pop. Once more, we're going to add a little bit of glue in the center there, and we're going to pop that down, a little bling down, and a little bling right there at the bottom. So there's the blue one. Let's make the pink one by adding just a little glue on top. And then let's put this one over here on this side. Change up, put them on whatever side you want. Something like that. And one more to go. We need one right here at the top. And we need to add that right like this. And then down here at the bottom. So I put one in the middle of the bow and two down below. Oh my goodness, what a fantastic mass making project. Oh, let's see if I can hold that. Oh, no, I could not hold it. It's just a piece of cardboard. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.